Have you ever used an AI and just had that nagging feeling that you're only scratching the surface? You're definitely not alone. We're about to dive into a system that can totally transform AI from a simple little answer machine into a seriously powerful execution engine, one that can actually bring your biggest, most complex projects to life.
So, does this look familiar? You ask the AI for something amazing, something brilliant, and what you get back is just meh. It's bland, it's generic, totally forgettable. It's a super common frustration. But what if I told you the problem isn't the AI at all?
And that gets to the real heart of the problem. For the most part, we've all been treating AI like it's just a fancier search engine, and that whole approach has a pretty low ceiling. The tool itself isn't the issue, it's how we're using it. Because let's be real, if you give a generic input, you are guaranteed to get a generic output.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly, right? On the left, you've got the reactive model. That's you being a passive question asker. And see that ceiling? The quality hits a wall, and it hits it fast. But then, look over on the right. That's the execution model. Here, you're the director. You give structured commands, and the quality of what you get back scales directly with your skill as a director.
So, this leads us to the first huge idea, this fundamental paradigm shift. To really truly unlock what AI can do, we have to stop just asking it questions and start actively directing the outcome.
I mean, the old way is comfortable, isn't it? It's the Google model we've been using for decades. We type in our little question, we lean back, and we just passively wait for some answer to be served up to us. But the new way, it's all about being active. You're not asking anymore, you are telling. You become the one who defines the project, who frames the task, and, most importantly, who judges the output. You are in the driver's seat.
Okay, so how do you actually become this director? You need a system, right? A playbook. And that's exactly where the TECA method comes in. Just think of it as your practical 4-part toolkit designed to put you firmly in control.
So TECAA is an acronym for these 4 pillars that all have to work together: context transfer, request structuring, validation criterion, and multi-AI architecture. And the key thing is, if one of these is weak, the whole system gets wobbly. So let's break them down. First up, T is for context transfer. Here's something you have to understand. AIs basically have the memory of a goldfish. Every chat is like starting a brand new conversation. So you have to provide what's called a portable context, a quick, condensed summary of what you're doing, who it's for, and why you're doing it. This stops the AI from just guessing and forces it to work inside your specific framework.
Next is E, for request structuring. And it's simple, really. Vague instructions get you vague results. Every single time. The goal here is to craft your prompts to be so crystal clear, so unambiguous, that you dramatically reduce the AI's room for interpretation. The less it has to guess, the more useful the output's going to be.
And this is where it gets super practical. I love this. A really great structured request has these 4 parts. First, you assign a role. Act as a marketing expert. Then, you give it a specific task. Write 3 taglines. Next, you set the constraints. Make them under 10 words with a witty tone. And finally, you define the format. Give them to me as a bulleted list. See? Simple, direct, and incredibly powerful.
Okay, now we're at C, for validation criterion. And listen up, because this might be the most important part of the whole system. This is the human job. The AI executes, but you and only you can be the judge. Is this output relevant? Is it actually usable? Is it specific enough? Does it fit the project context? This job cannot be delegated.
And here's a pro tip that's going to save you so much time and frustration. If an output is just not good, and it fails on 2 or more of those criteria we just talked about, don't even bother trying to fix it. Just scrap it. Go back, make your instructions better, and ask again. This keeps you from wasting hours polishing something that was flawed from the very start.
And finally, we have A, for multi-AI architecture. Think of this like you're building a team. You wouldn't hire just one person and expect them to be brilliant at everything, right? You'd get a creative person for brainstorming and a super organized person for planning. It's the exact same idea with AI. Use one model for wild idea generation, then feed the best of those ideas to another model that's great at structured writing. The magic is in making them work together.
Okay, so theory is one thing, but what does this actually look like when you're in the trenches doing the work? Let's walk through a quick example to see how this system can take a totally abstract idea and turn it into something real.
So check this out. It all starts with a fuzzy idea. Visually show 2 forms of learning. Vague, right? So you externalize it. turning that thought into some initial prompts for images. Then you iterate, you refine, making the prompts more precise. But here it is, the magic moment at step 4, the inflection point. The human director looks at the images and has a spark of insight. Hey, these could form a video sequence. That decision, that creative leap, didn't come from the tool. It came from human judgment directing the entire process.
And that little story right there, it gets to the absolute core of what makes this whole system work. Because the real competitive advantage in the age of AI, well, it's probably not what you think it is.
At the end of the day, it really just comes down to this. You can forget about learning to code. You don't need to be an expert in 50 different AI tools. What you do need, the real skills, are 2 profoundly human abilities: the ability to formulate your ideas with precision and the ability to evaluate the results with sharp, critical judgment.
And I think this quote from the source material just says it all perfectly. You don't need to know how to code. You need to know what you want and be able to express it with enough clarity. The rest is execution. The power isn't really in the tool, it's in your vision and your ability to direct that tool to build it.
All right, so there you have it. You've got the framework. You have the TECA system to go from just asking simple questions to actually executing on big ideas. So, the only question left is, what amazing project are you going to direct your AI to build first?